Before the internet, before you could download a threat in a matter of seconds, viruses had to physically travel. I mean, they were passed from hand to hand, hiding on these floppy disks. In this series, we're going to decode the lost language of these first digital plagues, and we're starting right at the beginning, the floppy era.
So I want you to picture a world of digital islands. Every computer was basically its own little kingdom, powerful, sure, but totally cut off from everything else. There was no cloud, no app stores, no downloads. If you wanted a new piece of software, someone literally had to bring it to you. In this world, sharing software was a whole social thing. You'd actually meet up with your friends, trade disks, swap stories about the latest games. Every new program was a physical object you could hold. Information moved, quite literally, at the speed of a handshake. And this thing, this humble little plastic square, it was the lifeblood of the entire PC revolution. But it was also the perfect Trojan horse. Because every single time a disk was shared, there was a chance that something else was being shared too. Something invisible, and something you really didn't want. You'd think our story would start in some shadowy hacker den, right? Well, you'd be wrong. Our story starts in a high school classroom. The very first piece of malware to ever spread in the wild wasn't designed to steal money or secrets. It was just a prank. So in 1980, the idea of a computer virus was purely theoretical, just a concept cooked up in a lab. But only 2 years later, it was a reality. The idea had escaped, and it was now spreading from computer to computer all on its own. The genie was officially out of the bottle. And the creator of this first wild virus, not some criminal mastermind. He was a 15-year-old kid named Richard Skrenta who just wanted to mess with his friends. He had absolutely no idea that he was about to make history. You see, Elk Cloner was way more of a practical joke than some kind of weapon. It would basically count how many times you booted up from an infected disk. On the 50th time, instead of the normal startup screen, you'd get this goofy, taunting poem. Annoying? Oh, for sure. Malicious? Man, not really. So how on earth did a simple high school prank manage to spread so far and wide? Well, the answer was hiding in a tiny, hidden corner of the floppy disk, a place nobody ever thought to look for a rogue program.
Okay, think of the boot sector like the ignition switch in your car. It's the very first thing the computer looks at to get itself started. A boot sector virus, then, is like a ghost that hotwires your car before you even have a chance to put the key in. It takes control right from the very beginning.
All right, let's fast forward a few years. The next major virus on the scene used the exact same technology as Elk Cloner, but the motive behind it, that was a completely different ballgame. This wasn't a prank anymore. This was about business.
Yeah, the creators of the brain virus weren't trying to be funny. They were software developers, and they were trying to protect their medical software from piracy. The problem was their copy protection method was actually a virus, and it spread like absolute wildfire. I mean, look at this. In just 4 years, you see this massive evolution. Viruses jump from the kind of niche Apple II to the IBM PC, which was everywhere. And more importantly, the motive shifts from a harmless prank to a business decision that had global consequences. This was the moment computer viruses went from being a curiosity to a full-blown crisis. You know, the absolute genius of the boot sector virus was its stealth. Once it was in your computer's memory, it was like a ghost in the machine, just silently waiting. The second you put a clean disk in your drive, bam, it would infect it, turning that disk into a brand new carrier without you ever knowing it happened. For all their cleverness, though, these early viruses had one fatal flaw. They were tied to the physical world. If you turned off the computer, the virus just vanished from its memory. They were ghosts, yeah, but they were ghosts you could exorcise with the simple flip of a switch. But what if a virus could survive a reboot? What if it could find a way to live permanently inside the computer itself? Well, that terrifying leap in evolution, that's where we're headed next. The language of malware was about to learn a brand new and much, much more dangerous word: persistence. Join us next time as we investigate the Jerusalem virus, a piece of malware that wasn't just annoying, it was actively destructive. We're also going to dive into the sinister concept of the logic bomb. Trust me, you are not going to want to miss it.